the Clippers beat the Utah Jazz in the second round in 6 games, and the Jazz had a 2-0 lead in that series, and a lot of people are putting the blame on Rudy Gobert as the reason to why the Jazz lost the series. So simple. How can the Utah Jazz improve this offseason? What do they need to do? Just to let you guys know, their free agents are Mike Conley and George Niang. So I'm guessing they need to sign back Mike Conley, but I'm curious to know what you guys think the Jazz should do this offseason to get over the hump.
Realistically, I think everything they need to do is up here. I think they've already eclipsed that good to great regular season team. I think they've officially become a great regular season team. Now it's, can they become a great playoff team? We've seen them in the past beat OKC, lose to Houston twice, I believe, back-to-back years. Last year, blow a 3-1 lead. This year, they was 2-2. Kawhi goes down. They blow both games. They was up 20 in Game 6. They lose. So I think they've seen all the adversity. They've seen all the downfalls, and I think now it's up here in the mentality to keep getting better and becoming that great playoff team. Now, I think people saying that Rudy Gobert was the problem, people saying that didn't watch the game. It's not that Rudy Gobert was the problem. It's that the Jazz don't have enough good wing defenders, so when they get beat, Rudy Gobert has to help. I think that is one of the problems that the Jazz have. They need more wing defenders. I think they need guys on the wing that can guard multiple positions, that could guard big wings like Paul George, like Kawhi. Royce O'Neal's a good defender, but they're only like
You're right.
Granted, Bojan, he played good defense on Kawhi, but he's not a guy you're going to put on him every night. You need another guy.
He's an offensive guy.
Yeah, and you need a small ball big, I think. I think Derek Favors was completely useless. I remember I was looking up on StatMuse, and I put his name in, and it said not available. So he's really just a useless player. They need to find a small ball big, somebody where Rudy Gobert is being used, he's being ineffective. You can put out a guy who's still as effective and can put out some numbers and can keep them in the game. So I think those are the two main problems, because you got guys out there guarding Kawhi and PG, and they're not big enough, or they're not strong enough, or they're not fast enough, and Rudy Gobert has to help every time. Even Reggie Jackson, who's killing y'all, and you don't have enough wing defenders. So I think that was definitely one of the problems, because Rudy Gobert helps.
I mean, the thing with that, though, is that how can you really get a wing defender to replace somebody in the starting lineup? Because Bojan is not sitting. Mitchell is not sitting. If you bring back Conley, he's not sitting.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
The only person you could take their place in the starting lineup is Royce O'Neal, and he's their best defender in the lineup on the perimeter. So it makes it tough, and you're right. Gobert has to help on these drives, and I don't know what Utah Jazz were doing. They were either playing a 3-2 zone, or they were playing 4 guys play man. And it was a weird defense, because from what I saw, it was 4 guys on the perimeter were sticking on one man.
And Rudy helps.
And Rudy was just in the middle of the paint the entire time and signaling for guys to guard 2 people and just helping on drives. And because of that, the Clippers got any 3 they wanted. He was late on closeouts, and Gobert had a really bad plus-minus. But I think everybody ragging on Gobert is, for one, Gobert, I think, has become the most hated player in the NBA. Probably not the most hated, but one of the most at
Top
least.
5, definitely.
Because whenever he does something wrong, it's magnified, and everybody likes to make jokes about it. But whenever he's playing phenomenal basketball, everybody's quiet. Nobody talks about it. Same thing with Paul George. He's been playing phenomenal. Nobody even cares.
Yeah.
So Rudy Gobert, he still deserved DPOY, but I think this was really more on Quinn Snyder and his coaching. I mean, for every single coach that blows a lead in the playoffs, we always say it's the coach. Doc Rivers blows a lead. Oh, it's Doc Rivers. It's not the players. Quinn Snyder blows a 3-1 lead against Denver last year, and now blows a 2-0 lead this year against the Clippers without Kawhi, and all of a sudden, it's Gobert. It's not Quinn Snyder. It can't be him. That's ridiculous. I agree. They need a small ball 5 or an agile 5. Names I was thinking, Torrey Craig, P.J. Tucker, and I
was thinking P.J. Tucker
popping up. It's crazy.
Because P.J. Tucker is one of the more valuable players in the NBA.
Yeah.
But also, I would just think an agile 5. Maybe they can get Daniel Tice. That wouldn't be too bad. He can also stretch the floor. Zach Collins, he's been injury prone, but when healthy, when he does play, he's a good defender. Or Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel would be a perfect player for them. I think he can guard the perimeter somewhat decent.
Good enough.
He's a good shot blocker. He would be really good for them. And I just don't think you can have two lineups out there, or you can have, like, the thing with the Jazz is that they don't have any lineups that can play small. It's either Gobert or Favors at the 5. That's it. They don't have any lineups that can play small.
They
have to get
one
lineups
time, and it was
to get small. I also read some articles about maybe them trying to trade for a player, and some names that came up were Covington, Daniel House, and Thomas Satoransky. Because I also think a backup point guard is also lacking for them. I like Ingles, I like Clarkson, but they need another ball handler, because if Mike Conley gets injured like he did against this series, now you only have Ingles and Mitchell, nobody else. Mitchell got doubled because there was no other ball handler on the team that can really do anything.
The problem with that is Clarkson takes every shot he gets. So he's a ball handler, but he's not really a ball handler. He's
a shooting guard.
He's a shot taker.
And also some free agents, Danny Green, James Johnson wouldn't be bad. Trevor Ariza, Tony Snell, Reggie Bullock. Maybe they go after Josh Hart, who would be a good defender for them as well. I mean, there are some options.
Is Rondo a free agent, or is he under contract?
He's under contract,
He has
I believe.
player option.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at this Jazz team, and I hear what you guys are saying. They could probably use a little bit more defense, but really, what more do they need? They got
to just said it
for real. But other than defense, I mean, you have one of the best ball players in basketball right now in Donovan Mitchell. You have arguably the best defender in basketball on your team in Rudy Gobert. You have the number one three-point shooting team in the NBA. You have Joe Ingles, Bogdanovich, Jordan Clarkson, all these guys that could get you a bucket whenever they need to. Joe Ingles, obviously lesser of the three, but he could still get you a bucket too. I just look at this squad, and the only thing that really sticks out to me is, like you mentioned, Quinn Snyder. He refused to make adjustments last season, refused to make adjustments this season. He gets a break with Kawhi going down to injury, unfortunately. You would think that this series was in the bag. Just did not. They did not seize the moment at all. And I'm baffled that they couldn't get by a Clippers team without their best player. I just don't know what more they could do to better this squad, truthfully.
I think Mike Conley being out was huge for them. And you guys laughed at me. But before the podcast the other day, when I said it, I meant it. The Clippers without Kawhi and the Jazz without Conley are an even team. That's an even matchup. Obviously, Kawhi is a much better player than Conley, but Mike Conley to the Jazz is such a pivotal piece.
The Clippers beat them with Mike Conley, though.
Game 6. But
injured on a hamstring.
I mean, if you play, you play, though.
I agree, but I disagree, too.
And they was up 22. Like, you can't even defend that.
It's inexcusable.
Yeah, you can't even defend that. He played
the Clippers. They were clapping them.
Wait.
Yeah, yes.
That was game 5 or game 6?
No, that was game 6,
bro. Mike Conley jumped in the lineup, and
they were up 28.
They were up 28. They were up 30 at a point.
They were up 28 and lost. Quinn Snyder deserves all the blame. No doubt about it.
That was like you can't even.
You were 100% right there. Quinn Snyder did nothing.
You thought that was game 5?
I thought that was game 5.
They was killing them.
Bro,
game
Terrence
6, bro.
Mann went to a different universe.
That's what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
Rudy Gobert was leaving man open in the corner, and he's just hitting shots.
Yeah, because they were playing
what
some
is Rudy Gobert supposed to do about that? He can't guard a guy like Mann.
That's the weird defense they were playing.
And that's what you're 100% right there. They need a type of guard type forward, you know what I mean?
PJ.
The wing, exactly.
Small ball
PJ,
5.
Exactly. PJ would be perfect.
PJ's would be perfect for a lot of
So
teams.
they should definitely, we all agree they should bring Mike Conley back.
I think so.
I think so.
What
team in the NBA wouldn't want PJ Tucker?
The Bulls.
No, I think you guys would want him.
I think any team that's tanking, or not tanking, rebuilding, doesn't want him. I think all contenders.
Suns? I don't think the Suns
No,
need
the
him.
Suns want him.
The Suns would definitely
I think
want him.
Why do you say? I mean, they have a guy like. Obviously, I think
he's better than Torrey Craig, and he would do more than what Torrey Craig does.
Okay.
I think every contender.
Think of
would
like a
want
guy like
PJ
Jay
Tucker.
Crowder. Like obviously, PJ
Jay
Tucker's
Crowder
defense
and
is
Tucker are
better.
the same, honestly.
Yeah, you put both of them down low.
But I think Crowder's
that's what I'm saying.
a
That's
better
why they don't
defender.
need him. That's why they don't need PJ Tucker.
You think Crowder's a better defender?
No, I think Tucker's a better defender.
Yeah, you just got your names mixed up.
Crowder's a better offensive player, but really not by much.
He's just a trigger happy guy. Like he just shoots.
PJ Tucker's his shot is inconsistent.
Crowder would shoot from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
PJ's just a corner guy.
That's why I say the Suns wouldn't need him when they have a lesser version of him on defense.
He can take Torrey Craig's spot.
That's true.
Or Sarek.
Sorry.
I like Saric's size.
He got killed by Boogie.
I mean, Boogie's stronger than him, bigger than him.
I don't think he's bullying PJ like that. PJ's mad strong.
Boogie's big, dude.
PJ's big. He's just short. But he's a big guy.
He is pretty strong,
He
for
is
sure.
pretty big.
Yeah, so it's like,
You're a
that would
demon.
be great for the Jazz. Because Derek Favors does
Oh,
nothing
no,
on the
that would
court.
be
He's
enormous.
bulky.
That
He's
would be
bulky.
enormous.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with
Derek
you. PJ
Favors
is
just
the
be
perfect
out
fit.
there, bro. He's just running.
He needs to be off an NBA squad.
I didn't say all that, but I'm saying he just does a lot
He
of running.
stinks.
Yeah, I mean,
He stinks.
He used to be the third overall. He was the third overall
Yeah,
pick. I
he
believe.
was
Buzz.
actually the Nets guy, wasn't he?
The Nets,
yeah,
yeah.
he's the Nets guy.
He was the cornerstone for the Darren Williams trade.
Oh God,
I
That's
guess you'll take that,
hilarious.
right?
I mean, yeah, at this point, he was actually good at one point in his life.
What, like 2 seasons, 3 seasons on Utah?
That's good enough than a lot of guys. Better than a lot of guys. 2, 3 seasons.
Fair
is
enough.
good.
Fair enough. But for the number 3 pick, whatever it
What do you want
was,
him to do, bro? He's a bust.
I want him to be good.